word, not just a hefty joke. Current affairs, tune in, y'all, listen close. Aharon Yasharahla hit you with the most. No fluff, just facts, we dissecting the scene. Radio wave, sharp, cut and clean. Modern day prophets, echoes of the past. The see through the smoke, these last won't last. Real talk, mountains from the molehills. Truth reigns supreme over fake thrills. Government plots, we expose the schemes. Politics dirty, trying to crush dreams. From the ghettos to the burbs, we keep it raw. Current affairs, y'all feeling every law. Current affairs, tune in, y'all listen close. Aharon Yasharahla hit you with the most. No fluff, just facts, we dissecting the scene. Radio wave, sharp, cut and clean. Current affair, yeah, with Big A.
Big A.
Wake up, tap in, Big A, back in.
Hey.
Headlines, hard facts, cut through the spin.
Hey.
From the block to the globe, truth in every quote. On the line, gotta let the people know. Current affairs with Big A. Say what they won't say. Hey, we'll talk right now. Every day, turn it up, talk that thing. Current affairs with Big A. Breaking through the haze. If it matters, it's on today. Current affairs with Big A. Big A. Big A.
Here we go. Here we go. Right back at you. What's going on, family? How y'all doing out there? Hey, again. Give it up. Give it up, y'all. I mean, give it up, y'all. Give it up, y'all. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? You know, to hear myself talk. You know, I'm trying to get the Most High his usury, get Christ his usury, with a little bit of a gift that I've gotten. You know, being in front of a camera, talking. You know, I don't mind where I'm at. Anyway, how y'all doing this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you can listen to me and get some good, hopefully edifying information. So I want to apologize for not here last week. Things happened, some sicknesses, death in the family, a few deaths in my family actually. So I just asked you all to pray, not just for myself, but for just for everyone. You know, the body of Christ. Just give some prayers up for us. You know, because it's a lot going on, family, in this earth, in this world, and we all need prayer, and we cannot do it by ourselves. 102. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You must be a night owl or an early bird in the morning, you know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, let me just, you know, get right to what I like to start off with. And I always like to start off, family, with a saying of the day. And again, with so much going on, Shalom Rich, with so much going on in the world, you know, I just kept it simple this evening, family, for the saying of the day. I just basically want to tell you all, you know, for the saying of the day, stay in the truth of Christ. Just plain and simple. Stay in the truth of Christ. That's at the end of the day. That's all we have, is the Most High in Christ, his son Christ. That's all we have. Even though some of us are married, we still at times feel alone. And those lonely times is when we reach out to the Most High through Christ. So, you know, even for me, example, I try to do all I can for my wife, but even me, and y'all who know me and my wife, y'all know I try to do everything for my wife. Love her to life. But even I drop the ball. Not because I'm trying to, I want to, or I miss a cue, I miss a mark. I'm human. So all we have, family, at the end of the day, shalom. What? I'm sorry. Your e-bike, listen, that's not cool. Thou shalt not steal. I'm going to send some prayers up for you. That's not cool. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to hear that because we work for our money. I don't care if it's, we don't work for our money. We're on Social Security, disability. That's your money. It's going somewhere. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry, and that you will get repaid. You will get another one. I'm pretty sure you will. All praise to the Most High. You will get another one. So again, family, my saying of the day is just stay in the truth of Christ. Stay prayed up, fast, as I always say. Now, getting into the nitty gritty of these topics that I have, these stories that I have, family. Do you all remember that show? That's right. Let's pray she gets it back. Do you all remember that show years ago, 1,000 Ways to Die? You remember that? For those who remember, that was a good show for me because it was intriguing to me how people died, passed, got unalived. So that brings me to my first article, family, which is, that's right, Ahaya Willing, that's right, which is chopped up in plain engine. And that's why I prefaced this by saying 1,000 Ways to Die show. The topic of this first is chopped up in plain engine, Denver International Airport. Chopped up in a plain engine at the Denver International Airport. So when I saw this, I was like, ooh, that had to hoit. You heard me? That had to hoit. That just hurt. That had to hoit. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so back on May 9th, family, there was an individual who got chopped up in an airplane engine. And I'm like, how did this happen? So 1 second here. Got some things that you just want to jump up, on the screen. So Frontier Airlines on May the 9th and Frontier Airlines Airbus A321 flight 4345 struck and unalived a person on the runway during its takeoff. So I read that, I'm like, what? Right. We're glad you didn't get unalive. We're glad about that. I'll praise the Most High. I'm like, how did a person get struck by a plane during the takeoff? So it reads that the individual is believed, family, to be a trespasser who jumped a perimeter fence and was at least partially consumed by one of the aircraft's engines. Shalom, everybody, shalom. So I'm looking at that. That's very gruesome. I'm sure it sucked for that person. Get it? Sucked through the engine. I'm sorry, but I mean, I gotta laugh to stop to not cry because that's so a tragic incident. And the impact, family, caused an immediate engine fire and smoke in the cabin, which led to an emergency evacuation of all 230 people on board. Now, with that said, there were 12 people reported with minor injuries from the evacuation. So I'm like, wow, how could people have gotten injured during the evacuation? Well, think about it. When there's an evacuation on the tarp on the runway, they open up the door and they have this big slide, you know what I mean, come out. And so it could be some elderly folks, you jump on a slide and could have bounced a few times and tumbled down the wrong way. That's something I can think of, how people got injured, or they were coming down the slide, the slide that opens up for the emergency hatch, and they fell on top of one another. I don't know. But nonetheless, I looked into this more so. And this actually has happened about once a year for the past 3 to 4 years. That persons have been getting unalived by airplane incidents like this, getting sucked into an aircraft engine. But my thing is, how did this person get over the gate, get over the fence? Because when I looked into it, they said that the fence was intact. So it made me think, did the person have incredible hops? Could he jump that high? Because have you seen a fence at a airport? Those are high. You can't just scale that fence. So that tells me, if it doesn't make sense, allegedly must be a lie to me. That's why my mom used to tell me, when I was telling her a story, a tale, as she said, if it didn't make sense, it must be a lie. So a lot of this thing doesn't add up. Why would he run into the tarmac when he sees it, when that person saw a plane coming? I mean, didn't watch too many movies and didn't think that could happen? Watch one of those Mission Impossible movies with that guy holding onto the plane? I mean, these kind of things, it just, like Arsenio Hall said, makes you go, what was that person thinking? I do not know, right? I do not know. So I just pray that that person's family, right? Why are you on earth not in this? Absolutely. Absolutely. So this person, either if they did miss the plane, they were out of their mind. And it really has somewhere to go, thinking that plane was going to stop and let them in, if that's the case. But I digress. Now, family, before I move along to my next article, there is something I want to bring up and present to you all. Chaste Woman magazine, right? On August the 16th at 1 p.m. at the Essence Event Center in Winsboro, South Carolina. Again, a fashion show, Kings and Queens in the Garden, which is August 16th, 2026 at 1 p.m. at the Essence Event Center in Winsboro, South Carolina. Be a part of a movement that redefines beauty, honors values, and inspires generations. Again, from Chaste Woman magazine, a fashion show, Kings and Queens in the Garden, August 16th, 2026 at 1 p.m. at the Essence Event Center in Winsboro, South Carolina. So come, family, be a part of a movement that redefines beauty, honors values, and inspires generations. How about that? Chaste Woman magazine. So come on out and support this lovely young lady. All right. So now, family, we know that there, again, have been a lot of things, a plethora of things, numerous things going on in this earth. The powers that be are showing so many things. Yes, sir, a real fashion show. Not that foolishness that we see it in Esau's world, wearing all that goofiness, looking like whatever they want to look like, looking like fools, mind you. Right? Kings and Queens fashion show by Chaste Woman magazine, brought to you by Chaste Woman magazine. So now, family, there have been a plethora of things going on, numerous things going on, in this earth. And like I said, the powers that be are just throwing numerous things at us at one time to keep us dumbfounded, to keep us looking this way when things are happening that way. Right? So right now, they have what is called the hantavirus, right? Going on to my next topic, the hantavirus, right? So I'm looking at this, I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, people don't use common sense anymore, you're right. They're always throwing stuff at us. And so I'm just looking at this like, okay, here's something else that we might have to really take a look at. So I look it up, and I'm just going to tell you what I found. There is a significant international update on the hantavirus pulmonary syndrome centered on a rare outbreak linked to the cruise ship MV Hondias. Health agencies, including the WHO, CDC, and European authorities, say the overall public risk remains low, but they are treating the incident seriously, family, because the suspected strain is the Andes virus, ANDES, the Andes virus, the one hantavirus known to occasionally spread person to person. So apparently there is more than one strain of the hantavirus. And this one, that's right, the Met Gala, absolutely right. And this one is called the Andes virus, ANDES. Now, just to give you a quick snapshot of the current situation, the WHO had reported that at least at that time, when it came out, that at least 8 cases have been tied to the cruise cluster, including three unalivings. Several U.S. passengers had been medically evacuated and quarantined in Nebraska and Atlanta family. One American tested positive, another developed mild symptoms, right? Now, authorities are monitoring exposed passengers for up to 42 days, which matches the outer incubation window of the Andes hantavirus. Now, the CDC family classified the response as a level 3 emergency activation, emphasizing there is not a COVID scale threat. So it's not on the level as COVID was, but it is considered a level 3. Now, with that said, I don't know what level COVID was on. I just know it was out there, right? Floating around. Now, what the hantavirus actually is, family, for those who don't know, is a family of viruses that are carried mainly by rodents, right? Most infections happen when people inhale particles from rodent urine, droppings, or saliva, right? Now, in the Americas, severe cases can cause, Shalom, thank you for coming in here. In the Americas, severe cases can cause hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, or HPS, which affects the lungs and can become life-threatening very quickly. Typical early symptoms, family, are fever, severe muscle aches, fatigue, headache, nausea, and or vomiting. More dangerous symptoms could or can be cough, chest tightness, shortness of breath, fluid buildup in the lungs. Now, rapid breathing problems, family, after rodent exposure are considered a medical emergency. Yeah, you're right. Things are always floating, but not even useful. Yeah. Now, the important nuance in this outbreak, family, is the suspected Andes strain. Most hantaviruses do not spread between people. The Andes virus can, but usually only after prolonged close contact. Health agencies continue to say broad community spread is unlikely, and I believe that to be the case. I haven't seen a lot of cases, in too many areas, just sporadically here and there. But again, family, this is the powers that be, and we must stay on our P's and Q's because we are at war, literally and figuratively. We are at war, hence the Iran war, the U.S. war, all that is going on, right? Also, we are at war, as we know, spiritually. As the good book says, we fight not with flesh and blood, but against the powers and principalities in high places, right? That's what the good book says. Again, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a prophet. I can just regurgitate to you what I have read and what I have studied, okay? Study to show yourself good with the Most High. Right? So I'm reading this because when they tell us things, just like they told us in COVID, it got into people's head. And that's what they do. Shalom. They get in your head, playing head games. And what happened with COVID? People ran and got toilet paper. Come on, man. Come on. So don't be alarmed. People, it's just like that study where someone goes to the doctor and they say, "Doc, my back is hurting." The doc will give you this pill and say, this pill gonna make your back hurting. And when you go back to the doctor be like, "That was nothing but a water pill." But because you psyched yourself out in your mind, you're okay. So it's all mind games, head games. So again, we have to stay diligent. We got to stay prayed up because the enemy is walking around like a roaring lion, seeing who he can devour. Or let me say who they can devour. Because like Paul said in the good book, there are many antichrists out here. There are many devils. There are many Satans out here. So we must do our due diligence and stay abreast of what's going on. Right. So with that said, family, I'm gonna go ahead and move right along. I hope everyone has had before I move along, I hope everyone has had a good week. We need to stay staunch in Yeshua, in Christ. We need to stay staunch in the Most High and continue to read and pray and love our family, love our neighbor, love our enemy, pray for our enemy, right? Because it's just too many things going on. There are too many people being unalived in this world. Too many people leaving us left and right, of all kind of statures, low and high. So, just check on our people every day, please. And you can even check on me. I don't. Every single day is not that great of a day, but when it's not, that's the enemy really, really testing me and pushing me. But alas, I must, as we all, endure to the end. As Christ said, those who endure to the end shall be saved, whether it's the end of your life or the end when Christ comes back. Endure and do not let the enemy in, right? When he come knocking, don't let him in. Like in the movie Sinners, you ain't never asked before to come in. Why you asking now? That's what it is. They sinners, right? And we're not trying to be. Now, moving along, family, I do have another one. And this next article, family, was how I used to say back in the day, was a head buster, right? And this article, my beautiful wife sent this to me. And I gotta read this, family. You all remember those great shows that we had back in the 90s. We had, the Cosby Show. We had A Different World. We also had Living Single, for the singles out there. Living Single was one of my favorite shows. And this next article is titled Living Single Star, a Witch. Living single star, we are living single. We're living single star, a witch. Let me go ahead and read what I found. Actress Erica Alexander has gone viral after going into further details about her family's history with witchcraft, spiritual rituals, and coven-like practices tied to the Deep South. Now, Erica was on that show, the chocolate dark skin lady, that one right there that you see on the screen right there. That is the one her name is Erica Alexander. During interviews, family, Alexander described growing up around healers, root workers, and relatives believed to practice hoodoo and all manner of folk magic. She claimed that her father was a powerful healer, and her grandmother, the strongest of them all, was known for making and selling powerful gopher dust, a substance tied to old Southern folk magic and spiritual rituals. Maxine, thank you. Maxine, hey, I love me some Max James. I did at that time. But now, as the scriptures say, suffer a witch not to live. I'm just saying, my words in the Bible, right? According to Alexander, her grandmother eventually became deeply involved in the practices and at one point took it too far, allegedly returning home with her body twisted, moving on all fours and barking like a dog in what relatives believed was a terrifying spiritual episode. Now, let me back that up because, family, I didn't read the entire article. I read bits and pieces of it, skimmed through it. But that right there, let me reread that. That sounds like some old other crap, right? It says, According to Alexander, her grandmother eventually became deeply involved in the practices and at one point took it too far, allegedly returning home family with her body twisted, moving on all fours, and barking like a dog in what relatives believed was a terrifying spiritual episode. Alexander said a preacher was called to pray over her grandmother and warned that if she ever returned to the convent in New Orleans, she would come back in a box. She claimed that just 2 weeks later, her grandmother allegedly returned deceased in a coffin, a story that has since fueled intense online debate over spirituality, folklore, generational practices, and the supernatural. Alexander also said her family has long been viewed by some believers as one of the most powerful, respected, and feared covens in the United States, with deep roots in Southern spiritual traditions and New Orleans folklore. Now, that sheds some new light on Miss Maxine. Was it Maxine Waters back then on the show? Listen, the scriptures tell us, suffer a witch not to live. If we were living, yes. Khan means yes for those who don't know in Hebrew. If we were living in the biblical era, she would not be around at the moment because of what the scriptures say. The witches were burned at stakes back then, even if you were believed to be a witch and were not. Burned at the stake. This sheds some new light. Just because a person is on the idiot box, the TV, the boob tube, the television, doesn't mean we gotta like them. I mean, we think we like these people because we like the characters that they display to us, that they show to us. But they're just showing a side of them that they're playing, not who they actually are. The guy who played Killmonger in that great movie that we love, y'all know who that guy is. Michael B. Jordan. He came out and said he was a witch too. He came out and said the same thing. So we have to, when we see good actors and actresses that we think we like, we have to do our due diligence and research their beliefs. We have to do that. To research their beliefs because, listen, like I said, I liked me some Maxine Waters back then. You know what I mean? But to find out her grandmother came home walking on all fours, sound like some old, crazy movie type deal with people up there worshiping demons and Satan and whatnot. So listen, I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that. So again, it's more reason to stay prayed up, fast. Listen, and you can't even shake everybody's hand. You give them a pound. You might shake somebody's hand, they put a root on you. And you be walking backwards and barking like a dog, like old girl mama did, or grandmama. You don't want that. Hey, look. Hey, what does the scriptures tell us? First of all, let no one deceive you. She was deceived, hoodwinked, run amok, and she came back in a box. You can't make this up. Hey, listen. All I can say, family, is all praises to the Most High God that I serve. That's all I can say. I don't dib and dab in none of this foolery at all. Now, moving along from that foolishness right there. Hey, I gotta shake it off. Shake it off. I gotta shake that one off. I don't like that. Anyway, my next topic, family. Not everyone likes water, right? People say water has no taste. Water does have a taste. Go drink you some well water, drink you some tap water, and then get you a bottle of water. I guarantee they all have a taste. But I found this article, and I dubbed it Edible Water Bottles. Edible water bottles. Now we all need some good old H2O. H2O is good, especially when you're out there jogging, you're out there working in the sun. You have like myself, construction worker. You know, we need water. We need water. So we got to have that. So this next topic is entitled edible water bottle. I'm going to read exactly what I have written down because, I keep notes over here, fam. I can't, although I have a brilliant mind, I can't remember everything. Can't remember it all. Anyway, so edible water bottles, Uho pods are sustainable seaweed-based gel capsules designed to eliminate plastic waste, right? They are developed by Notpla, N-O-T-P-L-A, which is a company, Notpla, N-O-T-P-L-A. The ingredients for the seaweed-based gel, which are capsules designed to eliminate plastic waste, the ingredients are, family, sodium alginate from brown algae and calcium lactate. And basically what it looks like, family, it literally looks like a ball of water. You pop it into your mouth, bite it, and a gush of water comes out. I mean, that's genius. When I seen that, I was like, wow. I mean, yeah, it's better than tap water. Tap water got forever chemicals in it. We don't want that. PFSAs, we don't want that. We don't know forever chemicals in it. It's not like, times have changed. You know what I mean? I'll put my age out there. I'm 48 years old, right? Yeah, I look good, don't I? Thank you. Anyway, I used to drink out the water hole back in the day. I'm Generation X. We good for that, right? I'm still here, right? For those who didn't have that, up in New York, they drank out the fire hydrant. So we built for this. We are built for that today's tap water. So this edible water bottles, these can actually be made in your home. Now, how they work, family, is that they're based on culinary technique called, forgive me for the word, spherification, like a spherification. The seaweed extracts forms that have strong gel-like membrane around the center of water. So the seaweed basically just forms a membrane around the water. I don't know how, I'm not a scientist, but that's what it is. So it's made from sodium alginate, which is from brown algae, and calcium lactate. Now, again, you can actually make this at home. So if you look it up, you can make it at home. And hey, you can't say popping bottles. Just say, what would you say? Popping bubbles? Literally. Popping bubbles, but I mean, it's just look how sharp man has gotten. I mean, that's really, to me, that's ingenious, to have something like that. Whoever would have thought to have an edible water bottle? I mean, I never thought about that. You sure can't eat no plastic, mess you all the way up. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Thank you. I always tell people I'm in my 30s because I am. But yeah, family, look up the edible water bottles. All right. Now, I do have a few more things that I want to mention to you all that, we have to start to support one another, support events. So I want to bring to you a couple more events we do have coming up here, which is the Summer Jerk Fest, family. I don't know if anyone has heard about the Summer Jerk Fest that is held in Myrtle Beach just about every year. And this is going to be on June 28th, the Summer Jerk Fest, celebrating culture, togetherness, and flavorful Caribbean cuisine. June 28th, basically all day from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come on out and check it out because it's at Chapin Park in Myrtle Beach. And yes, yours truly will be there with my great counterpart, my wife, my better half. We will be doing some vending out there. It's a great time. Hopefully it won't be too hot. But yes, the Summer Jerk Fest is always a good time. Celebrating culture, togetherness, and flavorful Caribbean cuisine. There is a lot of food out there, family, and it be slamming. It be slamming out there. So come out there, have yourself a good time. Bring you some chairs, bring an umbrella, You know what I mean? And just sit on back, take off work the next day so you ain't got to rush back home, if you can, but I know the bills need to be paid, but bring some money because I hope you can too, because, you might get you're going to find some things you need. You're going to find some things you need, some things you want, especially the food. I don't know if you ever had any Jamaican food out there, but a lot of that Jamaican food is it's great. It's amazing. So the jerk fest will be June 28th of this year from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Chapin Park in Myrtle Beach. It's a fantabulous time. Since I've been going, I have not missed a year, right? Another event that we have coming up, family, is called the Truth Music Fest. The Truth Music Fest, and you can get early bird tickets, which actually is going to end June 1st. So get your early bird tickets. It's actually taking place on August the 9th, which is a Sunday, right? I don't know if you've seen this thing. Usually these things have been taking place on Sunday. You have Jamaican food every Sabbath? Oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, where you at? Up there in England, right? So we're going to be having giveaways, live music, playground for the children, vendors. I mean, look at all. I got cotton candy, bubbles. It's going to be a great time. So go ahead and get your tickets early bird, which does end June the 1st, and come out and just celebrate some truth music at the Truth Music Fest. And again, yours truly will be there, and it will be held in Elon, North Carolina, or Ellen, however you want to say it with your accents out there. Elon, North Carolina, that's how I say it, on August the 9th, which is a Sunday. All right. So now, I also want to throw out there, family, when you do come to these events, you will see, again, my beautiful mug, right? Again, my beautiful wife with her products of Naturally Glam skincare and cosmetics, which I'm always speaking of because she's always coming up with different products. She, like I said, she has now the deodorant that is starting to sell hand over fist. She has sprays out there like the linen sprays, which is like the Febreze, much better than Febreze. She has a woman's yoni steams, men beard kits. We also have sea moss juice and gel. So go ahead and like I say, help the Black community, the small Black businesses, because we got to keep the dollar in our pocket. We got to keep the dollar in our community. So go ahead and check out Naturally Glam skincare and cosmetics. You will not be upset. You will be happy. All right. Now, I do have, family, I do have an FYI that I want to bring out to you all. Now, remember I just talked about you got baptized 4 years ago. That's what's up. All praise to the Most High. Hey, I think it was about 4 years ago when I got baptized as well. Speaking of baptisms, before I go to my FYI, speaking of baptisms, family, just to tell you about my baptism. When I got baptized, I actually went out that night with my best friend. Hadn't seen him in a long time. I was like, I'm going out to this one last time. And I went out, had a good time with him. Didn't do anything crazy. I knew I was getting baptized the next day. And got baptized and had a marvelous baptism. It was a few of us that got baptized that day, but it was a marvelous, marvelous time. And one thing about getting baptized, especially in the true name of Christ, right? You feel because I got baptized when I was with the Christian church, right? I was in the Baptist church. I got baptized then, but when I got baptized then, I got dunked, and that was it. And nobody tell me the battle starts now. When I got rebaptized and rededicated my life to Christ, I mean, I came up out that water, y'all, and water was glistening all over my body. Right? Anyway, I came up out that water. Let me tell you, it was a new me. I mean, that old man was shed, and it was like I was in bliss, and then my bishop said, now, You know the real fight starts now. I'm like, huh? And he explained it to me. And then a few weeks later, a month later, like, yeah, you're right. And I didn't understand it at first until he explained it. And he was like, well, because you were in the world and now you left the world, Satan is going to come after you even harder. And that's true. All kind of ways. All kind of ways. And that's why the Most High says through Christ, for those who endure to the end shall be saved. Because people think, again, I'm not a preacher, I just regurgitate what I've been studying. People think they are baptized or saved. That's not true. Look at what the scriptures say. Those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved. That's what the scriptures say. It doesn't say those who get baptized shall be saved. No, it says those who don't get baptized won't make it into the kingdom. You have to get baptized to make it into the kingdom. But even if you get baptized, it's not a guarantee that you will be saved, make it into the kingdom. Those who endure to the end, as I said earlier, either to the end of your existence or to when Christ comes, the same shall be saved. Think about it. What did Christ say? The first resurrection. Those people will be saved. Like I said, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a bishop. I'm not a monk. I'm just a man who is dedicated to reading the Bible, studying, going to Shabbat service, and regurgitating to people what I have learned. Hence, what I now know. Amen? Amen. All right, family. So going to my FYI that I want to bring out. Now, earlier I talked about the hantavirus, right? And what that was all about. But did you all know that every 6 years, there has been a pandemic? And let me go ahead and expound on that. Some people probably like, I didn't know that. But every 6 years, going back to 2002, had the SARS virus, some kind of cough, I believe there. 2008, the swine flu or the pig flu, right? 2014, Ebola. Ebola was serious. Ebola was serious, right? Like a flesh-eating type thing, right? 2020, we had COVID-19. Now we have, guess what? You guessed it, the hantavirus. I mean, you can't make this up. You can't. And now I see where they're talking about here in South Carolina, some cases of rabies. Come on, man. Stop it. See, as I mentioned earlier, family, they're throwing so many things out at us left and right. One can't think. If not staunch in Christ, you don't have discernment, and you're not one with a body, a congregation, as the scriptures say, do not forsake the assembly, meaning take your butt to church. Because the idle mind is the devil's playground. We know that. We know that. We hear these voices all the time. And we got to fight. Fight off that old man, that old woman, those demons. Fight them off. What did Christ tell us? If you resist the devil, he will flee from you. That's what we got to do. And that's what this is about. Getting us off kilter. Getting us off course. To do what? To try to not make it to try to not endure to the end? Listen, all praise to the Most High. I'm going to endure to the end. That's my job, to endure to the end, right? So I got to do that. I ain't got no choice, right? None of us have a choice, really, honestly, if you look at it. So, going to my next article, family, and yes, it's not too much more time left, family, but just bear with me. I hope none of y'all are getting too tired out there or too sleepy at the moment. I know I'm not. I'm wide awake, and But let me say this, family. Look, the Most High is good. I just started me a new job this week. A new job, at much better pay than I had. All praise to the Most High. Anyway, I just want to put that out there. My next article, family, is about the California mosque shooting. Have you heard about that? The California mosque shooting. Why do all these things happen? Most of these things happen in California. If it ain't California, then it's over there in China. What's going on with these two places? Are these testing grounds? Nonetheless, family, California mosque shooting. Authorities say that two teenage gunmen opened fire at an Islamic center of San Diego on May 18th, killing 3 men before the suspects were later found dead from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Police and the FBI are investigating the attack as a possible hate crime. Of course, why wouldn't it not be a hate crime, right? If you're targeting, whenever you target any certain individuals, it's a hate crime, right? Now, what officials have said so far, family, is that the shooting happened shortly before midday prayer at the mosque in San Diego's Claremont area. 3 victims, family, were killed, including a security guard. Authorities and community leaders as instrumental in preventing even more casualties. So it sounds like that security guard gave his life. Sounds like he gave his life. And the scriptures do say if you die for your fellow man, very good chance you'll be in heaven. Very good chance. It doesn't matter if you are what religion you may be, what man-made religion you may consider yourself. But if you genuinely love your neighbor as like a human shield, why wouldn't the Most High let you up in heaven? Why wouldn't he? Right? Children attended a school located at the mosque complex were safely evacuated and not physically harmed. That's a blessing. And investigators said writings expressing anti-Islamic hate were found connected to the suspects. Now, the FBI stated that the suspect's family appeared to have been radicalized online and had left writings or a manifesto behind. Now, some victims that were publicly identified include Amin Abdullah, Mansour Kaziha, and Nadar Awad. The investigation currently found is still ongoing, and officials say more details about the motive and planning may emerge in the coming days. I mean, I have not ever been around gunfire like that, been under attack. I have gone to a gun range, and it's loud there. But to be under attack and to really have hate in your bones for a certain group is beyond me. The scriptures also tell us if you hate your brother, you've committed murder. So they literally committed murder twice, literally and figuratively. If you hate someone, you've committed murder. Because hate is not of the Most High. Because the Most High dwells in us and us in him. As the scriptures tell us. I'm just saying. Like I said, I read, I study to show myself approved. I try to. But can you imagine family scattering, because someone is shooting at you and you don't know why they're shooting at you just because you believe a certain way? I mean, it's what the scriptures tell us. We are truly living in the last days. We see what is going on. Our grandparents would say, we're living in the last days. And yes, once Christ was crucified, those began the last days. The countdown to when he was returned to be our King and Messiah. But he's on the precipice of coming back now. Look at what's been happening on the earth. The hearts of men have waxed cold. We see it evident in that shooting. We see it evident in the U.S. economy. Everything going up, beef going up, gas going up, everything. That's why I'm so happy that the Most High gave me this new income that I got. A nice bump in the raise. Yeah, and you say in your area it's like attacked most of the days and weeks. I mean, yes, we're attacked every day on all kind of levels. If it's not spiritual, it's some shenanigans that the powers that be have caused. They give us these things called phones. These things right here. It was these things called phones Yeah, they're good tools if we use them right, but they are distractions. So that way we can look the other way. And I'm starting to learn to put that phone down, because there's so many other things that I can do in my home. Fix this thing, fix that thing, tend to my garden, cut my grass, talk to my wife, love my wife, talk to my neighbor, love my neighbor. So many other things I can do. Talk to my sister, my brother, my mom. I mean, y'all, hey, get your house in order. That's all I can say. Get your house in order, because Christ said he'd come back like a thief in the night. No one knows where or when, as the song goes. No one knows where or when. Get your house in order. But we have to, family. I joke a lot because I wear my heart on my sleeve. If you get to know me, you'll see that I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know, I'll give you the shirt off my back, right? If I had to. I mean, that's just how I've learned to be. I've also learned in this walk of truth that the money that I make, my paycheck is really not my paycheck. After I pay my bills, somebody else needs some money. There's always somebody in need. A saint, maybe not a saint. Today I helped somebody out. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it was out there with a sign. Here you go. I don't have much, but what I have right now is more than what you got. Love your neighbor. Learn to love your neighbor. We have to, man. I mean, it's too hard out here, y'all. It's hard. I mean, you know, that's it's really hard. Now, I'm gonna stop rambling. I do have something else I want to bring out to you all. A couple more articles, right? There's not too much time left. Now, this last article I have: 28 Disney cruise members arrested. 28 Disney cruise members arrested. Did y'all see about this? Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to pull this up in my phone. Disney cruise members arrested. So when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is really too much, because it's so much going on out there. This is one of the last things that you really want to come across. But my phone is pulling it up right now as we speak. It's just going slow. But it showed that 28 members of, let me see here, 1 second. Recent reports say that multiple crew members connected to a Disney cruise ship were detained during a federal investigation into child sex abuse material at the port of San Diego. Again, why do things happen in California? What's going on with that? Authorities said the operation involved several cruise lines, not just Disney, right? According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the CBP, agents boarded 8 cruise ships between April 23rd and 27th of this year. 28 crew members were investigated. 27 of the 28 were allegedly involved in the receipt, possession, transportation, distribution, or viewing of child sex abuse material, or what they call or acronym as CSAM. Now, most of them were foreign nationals working aboard cruise ships. Foreigners, here we go. Several reports, family, state that some of those detained worked on a Disney cruise line ship, including the Disney Magic and possibly the Disney Wonder. Disney said it cooperated with investigators and terminated any employees involved. The investigation has been referred to as Operation Tidal Wave in a local reporting. Some passengers reportedly witnessed crew members being escorted off ships in handcuffs while docked in San Diego. Listen, how does that song go? Be our guest, be our guest. Put our magic to the test. I don't want to put no Disney magic to the test after that. I can't trust you, Disney. Gosh, no, can't do it no more. Because look, you can't make this up. Pornography, nasty, looking at babies, Disney, yeah, crazy. Hey, check this out. I don't have a lot more time, family. I have a few more minutes, but I do want to hit you all with a couple jokes, right? Just a little brighter side of the equation. Just a couple jokes because that's just crazy. But before I get to the joke, just a quick side note. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile are all coming together to launch a new joint venture to eliminate dead zones in the Wi-Fi. Now, I just want to put that out there. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile are going to be colluding together to stop dead zones on mobile phones. Why? Anyway, I just want to put that out there. Now, for a couple of jokes that I do have before we end this beautiful, beautiful evening, family. Another day the Most High gave us. Now, the first joke. For years, family, an elderly man could barely hear. For years, an elderly man, family, could barely hear. He finally went to the doctor to get some hearing aids that fully restored his hearing. A month later, he had a checkup, and the doctor said, "Your hearing, sir, is perfect. Your family must be pleased." And the elderly man said, "Well, I haven't told them yet. I just sit around and listen to their conversations. So, I've changed my will 3 times." I hope you got it. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next one. I got one more, right? And I'll let you beautiful families, beautiful people go. Yeshaya, it's a biblical joke now. Yeshaya and Moshe. Christ and Moses, if you don't know the names, Christ and Moses were playing golf, and they were on the 10th hole. Moses hits the ball, and it heads straight for a pond. Just before the ball hits the water, the pond parts, and the ball rolls up onto the green, right? Christ hits the ball in roughly the same place that Moses hits the ball. But Christ's ball hits the water and skips across. All of a sudden, family, lightning flashes and a ball drops from the sky. A fish swallows the ball, a bird picks up the fish, and the ball drops into a turtle, which walks over to the hole and drops the ball in. Moses turns and looks at Christ and says, "I just hate it when your dad plays." Hey. Oh. I had to get those two in there. It might have been corny. I don't really care, but I liked them. Especially the one with the old man and the hearing aids, right? So, again, family, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure just sit before you all this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you can listen to me. Again, family, check on your loved ones, the elderly. Discipline those kids. Stay prayed up. Fast, because and take care of your body. I've gotten back into the weight room. I'm doing my thing now. I just want to tell you all, it's been a beautiful time. I thank you all in the background who make this possible. You know who you are. I could not do this without you. You know that. I love you all. Do your due diligence. Give Christ his usury. And just take care of yourself, family. With that said, Shalom, family. Shalom. I love you all. Until next time, peace and a bottle of hair grease. Be easy out there, y'all. I love you all. I want y'all to come back next week. I'll be here, Most High willing. Deuces. It's been a lovely night, family. A lovely night.
Instructions of light. I need that heavenly bread. Give me the Torah. Sip of that living water. I need it to worship my Father. I need the Torah. It's the instruction of light. I need that heavenly bread. I need the Torah. Sip of that living water. I need it to worship my Father. Give me the Torah. The instructions of light. I need that heavenly bread. Give me the Torah. Sip of that living water. I need it to worship my Father. I need the Torah. It's the instruction of life. I need that heavenly bread. I need the Torah. Sip of that living water. I need it to worship my Father.
Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 13 through 18.
Current affair, yeah, with Big A. Wake up, tap in, Big A back in. Headlines, hard facts, cut through the spin.